Right, good morning, year 4. We are going to be starting today with our 5 a day. So follow along here for when you have finished your 5 a day and you're ready to check your answers. So our first question is 32 times 10. And I'm going to show you how to answer this using our place values. So you should be familiar with this from what we have done in class. So we're first going to have a hundreds column, a tens column, and a ones column for this question. Okay, our number is 32, so we'll put the 2 under the 0 and the 3 under the 10. And what we are going to do is we're timesing it by 10. So we need to look at the number 10 and see how many zeros it's got. It's got 1 0. So that means we are going to move our number across 1 spot. Okay, so the 2 moves into the tens column and becomes 20. Our 3 moves into the 100 columns and becomes 300. And then here we've got a blank space where the 1 goes. So here we're going to put a placeholder of a 0. So now we know our answer is 32 times 10 equals 320. Okay, next question. Number 2. The question is 65 times 10 equals. So first things first, we need to put our number in the right place. So our 5 goes under the 0, our 6 goes under the 10. And then we have a look at how many zeros we have. So in our 10, we've got 1 0, just like we looked at before. So that means we have to move everything 1 place. So we're making it bigger because it's timesing. So we're moving it 1 place to the left. So our 5 moves from the 1 column into the tens column. Our 6 moves from the tens column into the hundreds column. And then here, just like we did on the last one, we need to put a placeholder of a 0 because we can't just have an empty column. So 65 times 10 equals 650. Okay, our next question needs me to rub out this whole thing, so we need a little bit more space. Question 3. Our question is 63.1 times 10. Okay, so our first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we've got all the right places. So we need to put our decimal point after our ones. And here I'm going to put another T, and this means tenths. So there's 10 tenths in 1. So it's smaller than 1. It's the other side of the decimal point. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to fill in our number. So our 1 is going to go there in the tenths column. Our 3 is going to go under the ones column, and our 6 is going to go over the tens column. Just like we did before, we need to look at our number we're timesing by and see how many zeros are in it, to see how many places we move. So 10, just like we've done before, it has 1 0, so we need to move everything 1 place to the left. Okay, so that means that our 1/10 moves over to our ones column. Our 3 moves over into our tens column. And our 6 moves over into our hundreds column. So our answer is 631. Okay, number 4 is a very similar question, so I'm not going to rub out everything for this. We're timesing by 10 again, but our number is 40.3, and we're timesing it by 10. So first of all, we need to put our number in our place value column. So the 3 is 3/10, so it goes there. Our decimal point goes there. Our 0 goes under the 1s, and our 4 goes under the 10s. Just like we have before, we're looking at how many zeros there are that we're timesing by. So here we've got 1 0, so we are moving everything again to the left, just one place. Okay, so our 3 is moving along into our 1s column, our 0 is moving along into our 10s column, and our 4 is moving along into our 100s column. Okay, so there we can see our 40.3 times 10 equals 403. Oh, and I'm sorry, that is meant to be a number 4 there. It is question 4. Right, now we're going to go on to question 5. This is a little bit more tricky because for the first time we are not just timesing by 10, we are going to be timesing by 100. Okay, so have a quick look at your workings out while I am doing this to see if you have times by 100 and correct it if you haven't yet. Okay, and for this question, I'm going to need a little bit more room. So we need all of these columns. We need a few more columns as well. So one more than our hundreds is going to be our thousands column. Okay, and one more than our thousands column is going to be our 100,000 column. So we're dealing with much bigger numbers in this question. All right, question 5. 507.3 times 100 equals. Okay, so first things first, just like we did before, we need to make sure our first number is in the correct column. So our 3 goes under the tenths. Don't forget your decimal point. Then our 7 goes under our 1s. Our 0 goes under our 10s, and our 5 goes under our hundreds. Then we need to look at how many zeros we have got to see how many places we are moving to the left. We have got 2 zeros here because we're timesing by 100. So that means we're not just moving one place, we are actually going to be moving 2 places. Okay, so we'll do this one at a time so we don't make any mistakes. So first of all, we're going to move our 3. We're not moving it just into the 1s, we're moving it all the way into the 10s. Okay, now we're going to move our 7. We're not just moving it into the 10s, we're going to move it all the way into our hundreds. Okay, and then we are going to be moving our 0. 0 doesn't just move to the hundreds, it moves all the way along to the thousands. And then finally our 5 doesn't just move to the thousands, it moves one step further, one bigger than 1,000, which is our 100,000s. So our 5 is going to move there. Then really importantly, we need to check that there's no blank boxes before we get to the decimal point. And we can see over here, we have got a blank box. So there we need to put a 0, which is going to be our placeholder. Okay, so our answer is 507.3 times 100 equals 50,730. Right, thank you very much Year 4 for watching this. The next thing I would like you to do is to submit your workings out onto the upload button with your score attached. So it's nice and easy for me to see that you've watched this video, you've understood it, and you've made any corrections. Okay, thank you very much, and I will talk to you again later today.